Good boys, so this is your day 1 session that you're going to use for week 5 as well as week 6. Again, like the last cycle, so week 5 we're going to do 3 sets, and then when we come to week 6 you are going to do 4 sets of each. So just remember that there won't be a new video for week 6. You'll be using this as your day 1 but increasing that number of sets from 3 to 4. Right, so do your warm up. Do that mobility stuff, the mobility warm-up for ADP, really key, particularly because the A series that we start with is always really dynamic, it's power based, it's speed based, so you need to be firing on all cylinders to really maximize that content and those movements and fully benefit from those. So if you do, once you do the ADP warm-up, ask yourself the question, am I ready to go? If the answer is no, you might need to add in some of your own individual movements or warm-up material, or go through that a third time, but make that call. It's your body, you'll know what works for you. Okay, so A1 is a squat jump from seated, so you'll need a seat or a bench for that one. I will give you a demo now. I've got my trusty chair today. You want a bench height that is about as high as your knees. So you're sitting and your legs are almost parallel to the floor. So for this exercise, hands on hips, you're going to lean off your chair or your bench or your box, whatever it is that you're using. You're going to jump and then you're going to land and stand up. Again, step back. So I'm jumping out about probably 50 centimeters, 50 to 80 centimeters, hands on hips. I'm going leaning forward, jump up and land. So really be explosive. Do that at 100%. It's really key when we do power or plyometrics or velocity based exercises that it's done at your very max, so 100% every single rep. If we're training slow or training at half pace or half power, that's not going to improve your ability. And we know that being powerful is one of the key components to promoting good athletic performance. So really attack that, really get stuck in. It's like you're racing a 100-meter race or sprint, or even if it's a 5-meter sprint, for every single rep. So attack it is a good thing to keep in your mind when you do those. So height is what we're going for, and then good landing. That's A1. A2. Ice skater, so it's a lateral sort of hop, transition from left to right. It looks like this. So we're just going about 1.5 meters, left, right. You're going to do it smooth, drive up, push, and balance. So try and get really controlled with that. The first attempt or so, or first couple of reps, you might find you have a bit of a wobble. You might even have to step out because you lose your balance. But as you get stronger, you'll be able to get more fluid with that movement. The jumps will be tidier, and you can also start to look at going a little bit further, as long as it doesn't fall apart, that your technique's still really strong and it's a fluid movement. You'll get the idea that it's called ice skaters for a reason, and you sort of have that fluidity of that lateral shift once you get the hang of it. For that one, so for both those exercises, that first one, the squat jump from seated, I want you to do 6 reps. That's going to be 6 reps or 12, because I want you to do 6 on each side for the ice skaters. So that makes up the A2. And A3, we're going to do a prone back extension with press. A bit of a mouthful there. So back extension, going up off the floor and then press. Back to the starting point, back to the bottom, back extension, overhead press, and back down. What does that look side on? I fit in the frame. Up, press, shoulders return, back to the floor. So I do have my hands like this, like I'm doing a shoulder press. That's a good thing to think about when you do that. Engage really strong, particularly in your glutes when you do the back extension. I'm doing my shoulder press, or overhead press, back, returning to the starting position, then I lower back down. I want you to do 6 of that. So that's the A series. 3 or 4 sets depending on whether it's week 5 or week 6 for this session. And moving on, so B1, we've got a lunge combo where we're going to utilise a lateral as well as reverse lunge for this exercise. What that looks like is this. So we're actually going to go reverse first. So thinking about my left leg, that's going to be the mover. Going to go back, reverse, and then lateral. Back to the starting point, reverse, then lateral. So you see how my left leg is moving, my right leg is staying still. I want you to do 12 on each side, so that's quite a lot of volume because you're going to end up doing 48 movements per set. One to the back, one to the side, and then you're going to do that times 12. Change over to my right leg, reverse to the side, times 12. It's nice to start to get these lateral movements in control because we know that the majority of the sport you're moving not only forward to back but also side to side, so really key to integrate some of this stuff into your programming with the hope that we're going to go into sport in the near future. Okay, we've got a fire hydrant, so this is a glute dominant exercise. I'll show you side on. It's probably the best way. So on all fours, nice strong tabletop position. I'm going to go back with my knee to waist high or in line with my hips. I'm going to come forward, back to the starting point, and then I'm going to reverse the action. So I'm going back and then over the top, coming through forward and over the top to my starting position. Back to the front and then front to the back, that makes 1 rep. I want you to do 12, change over to the other side, start with your left, then move on to your right. That is B2. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit in to a familiar exercise to make up B3. So we're going to do a single leg RDL, which you're pretty familiar with. Hopefully you've been practicing this stuff so you can just go and bang out a good RDL, because now we're going to add into it. And that is with a knee raise coming through. So I'm going to do my single leg RDL, make sure you got enough space. Single leg RDL, coming through, high knee. Straight back into rep number 2, single leg RDL, high knee. What does that look like? So I'm running out of room a little bit. Good single leg RDL, coming through, good high knee. Try and really lift that knee up high. Your thigh should be above parallel because that gives you the good sprinting technique, or a good outline for a good sprinting technique. But don't forget about the RDL. That is the most important part of the exercise. So good hip hinge, getting flat to the floor, good balance, and then coming through with that high knee and lifting it up really high. Do 12 on one side, 12 on the other, and that'll make up the B3. So that is your B series. The lunge combo with the reverse and lateral lunge. The fire hydrants are coming over the back and then going reversing that movement. 12 each way on both legs, and then a single leg RDL with knee raise to wrap up the B series. So we've got 12 on each side for each of those movements, times 3 or times 4, depending on what week you were doing this in. Okay, C series. So you'll need your bench or chair or box, whatever it is you used earlier for this again. We're going to play with how we complete these reps. Today we're going to use a really common rep scheme, something that you may be familiar with. It's actually something that's really popular in bodybuilding circles. So if you've been reading content online, whether that's helpful or not, you may have come across this rep scheme. Today we're going to utilize it in an incline press up. It's a really nice way to add a degree of difficulty to some really simple movements to make these really challenging by just using your body weight and a simple piece of equipment. Okay, so incline press up. Incline press up. Press up from an elevated position. My hands are elevated. That makes my incline. So, what does a 21 rep system look like? I'm going to break it up into 3 blocks of 7 reps. So 7 times 3 equals 21. I'm going to do the bottom portion of the movement or the exercise first. So that means taking my chest to my chair and just going up halfway for 7. Once I've done 7, I'm going to return to my starting position. Secondly, I'm going to do the top half of the lift, so I'm not going all the way down, just going to halfway where I finished the first 7. And then to finish, to make up my 21 reps, I'm going to do 7 full press-ups. So starting position, chest all the way to my chair, bench or box, then all the way back up. I will do 1 set, so that clarifies any confusion you may have. It's nice and strong, good press-up. So bottom half first for 7. And return to the top. Then we're doing the top half next for 7. Return to the top, and then 7 full press ups from an incline position to finish. Cool, so that makes up 1 set. Like I said, a really nice way to add a bit of volume and challenge yourself through a simple movement. Maintaining that you do complete that with really good technique all the way through. Don't slouch, don't cheat yourself. Make sure you get, even when it's broken down into half reps, you get in all the way to the middle, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top or to the middle, and then 7 full reps, which is going to be the hardest part of that set. Really concentrate on those and complete that with good solid technique. Rightio, so C2. Move my chair. So I've got a leg lower with a twist. So starting, it's better. So legs up in the air. Make a gun like you're going to shoot a gun. I'm going to lower my left leg, and I'm going to twist up and over to the outside of my right. Then I'm going to alternate legs, twist over to my left on the outside. Nice and smooth, keep it continuous. Make sure you're getting a good twist, a good crunch up and twist with your upper body. It's not just the legs, that'll engage your core too, but I'm using other parts of my abdominals to crunch up and over to the outside of my leg. You will feel the difference, particularly when you crunch up, make an effort to crunch up and over. That'll incorporate more of your core. That's a good thing to do for obvious reasons. So make sure you have a think about that when you do that one. And C3, bird dog. So something we've done before, on all fours. Gonna go alternate limb, so my right arm, left leg, out nice and straight. Come into the middle, elbow, knee meet in the middle, and then they go back out to the same height, or shoulder and hip height, and then again. Do 12 on each side, so do 12, so 12 on that one side, then change over, do 12 on the other side. That makes up the C series. So the incline press up for the 21s, the leg lower and twist, and then the bird dog. 21 reps, obviously, for the incline 21s. Then 12 on each side for the leg lower and twist, if you can manage. If you have to cut that rep count short, because it is a real challenger, that one, cut it short. I'd rather that you did 12 really good reps than 20 poor ones, so you just make that decision based on your own level. Then the bird dog, you're going to do 12 on each side. That is the C series. Do that 3 or 4 times depending on what week you are completing this in. Right, so we have got another little volume finisher for you today. This time we're going to use a variation of press-ups. The beauty of this one is you're going to have some freedom to choose your press-ups. I've put the target at 40 repetitions. Again, like those other exercises, If you get to 40 and that's not enough, throw in another 10 or 20. You know your own limits or how your body's feeling. The key is that it's a challenge. It actually should be quite difficult. So if you find that you get to 40 and you go, yeah, pretty tough, still more in the tank, add some in, get a full benefit from this. So like I said, it's mixed press ups, so you can choose your variation, mix it up. That'll help you to bang out some more reps when you get tired, and hopefully you might be able to get to 40 without any rest. So plenty of variations of press ups. Just to run through a few, obviously normal or standard press ups. I want you to do full press ups. I'm not going to go from your knees, so that's not an option. So diamond, you can go from W, military, normal, wide. You can do alternate, so left and then right. You can do a Hindu press up if you wish. Spider-Man, which I've probably included in some of a previous video or session. You choose, but bang them out. Also, I hope it goes without saying that they are full press ups, so chest to floor, then all the way up. We're not just doing the top half like we did in the incline 21s. Good, full, strong press ups. Mix up how you want your hands to go. Do 40 plus if you need to. It's a really good way to finish a session and get a little upper body hit going. So well done. That is day 1 for the latest cycle. Quick reminder that if you're doing this and it's week 5, 3 sets of each. If it's week 6, you're going to do 4. So enjoy that, and I'll be back for day 2 soon.